Let's go look at some flowers. Okay. Good morning. I'm Eileen, and this is my garden here in Zone 5A, formerly 4B. Big shakeup. And it's the end of May. It's been a very exciting garden month because we've had a lot of rain, which is very exciting. We had a very dry winter, so I had been concerned, but now we've had so much rain, and it looks like we'll get more before the end of the week. Stuff is taking off, and I've made a few changes, but there's a lot in bloom right now that wasn't even just a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's all happening, and soon it will be June, which feels like real summer. It's in the morning. I'm trying to shoot this before work, before it gets too noisy, but around here there's always someone riding a motorcycle at 6:30 in the morning, so I don't know. We're gonna do our best. Let's go on a highly distractible tour. One of the most exciting things right now are the peonies. I have this sort of peony hedge in front of my wee little porch, and they smell fabulous. Of course, they're flopping like crazy. I do actually have a support in there, but like I said, we've had so much rain that they're really flopping a lot. So I might have to get them some additional support. This spiderwort looks fantastic. Pretty much all of this spiderwort is, again, divisions from my mom, so I'd never purchased any of this, and it has self-seeded. Look at this. This is Joe Pye weed. It has really cool dark stems. You can see some new seedlings are coming up, which is exciting. And I moved my bird feeding station out here. Just love, like, these look so bright, especially when it's, you know, early morning or in the evening. Let's see. And the pathway looks so pretty right now, if you don't look at the tree bank, which is my secret shame. So I've had to implement a lot of sort of improvised stakes because of all the rain, so all the flopping, but I think they're working okay. There's one over here. The poppies are looking incredible. And I apologize, I don't know what these iris varieties are. They're all divisions from other people. Oh, still need to plant those. Whoops. There's some more spiderwort. It loves coming up in the cracks. Like, I don't even know how I would get that out. I think maybe a butter knife or something. If you have recommendations for getting plants you like out of sidewalk cracks, let me know. My poor winter sown things that still need to be planted out. So this is where, right here is where the lilac was. And you can see a video of me very gracefully tugging it out. Oh God, here we go. But I have replaced it with a grass, and then this is a pretty tall native coneflower, and we'll come around here, but those are spirea that will now have sort of a low hedge. Look at the sunlight coming through. That looks so pretty. Look at this. Stop yourself. It's like plant porn. Wow. Just stare at that all day. Oh, there's still more to come. This one's gotten huge. I think, oh, that one's gone over already. I think once this finishes blooming, I'm going to try and divide it. There's sort of a baby plant back there that's taken off and it's flopping over the salvia. So, but just look at that with the sunlight and the grass behind it. Ah! And over here we have some daisies and catnip. This is phlox over here filling in. I think I have another Joe Pye weed somewhere. I just found it after forgetting where it went. I'll find it again. Do you have any tips for dividing oriental poppies? Do we still call them that? Doesn't seem quite correct. Also over here we have one of my favorite combos, which is this hosta next to the penstemon with the grass behind it. I just think it looks so nice. And I still need to move this dogwood. This spiderwort hasn't bloomed yet. That's exciting. Got another iris over here. Again, do not know what variety, but it's beautiful. Look at that. And casualty to get a steak. Let's see, here's more iris. Oh, and my red bud. So we had a pretty severe storm about a week ago, and some pretty intense winds came through, and one of the branches of my red bud got really damaged. And you can see there's some other damage too. So I lopped this one off, but hopefully she'll recover because I just love it. I would be very sad if I lost this tree. And then a big branch from the silver maple came down too. Fortunately, it didn't crush anything or break anything, and the tree seems okay, but there were some trees that were completely blown over, roots and all, so could have been worse. Here's another great combo. This is another penstemon next to this iris. That's kind of a frilly one. Wow. That just looks gorgeous. And, oh, this is a Siberian iris. This was a division from a friend last year, so I'm happy that's blooming. These are an early iris, and there was only one bloom on them, so I think maybe they need to be divided and moved around. This is another peony. This one hasn't bloomed yet. This is Sarah Bernhard. That's one I bought for myself. And you can see here, this is where the lilac was, and now I have these two. They're called birch leaf spirea, and I actually saved the tag so you know what they are. I know what they are. Glow Girl, birch leaf spirea. But I really like how the leaves look. Normally I don't really like spirea, but I like that it's kind of a limey green. They should get about 3 feet tall. So they'll create kind of a nice mound here in front of these steps, and then we step back. So my hope is they'll create kind of nice mounds here, leading your eye up to the hydrangea, and then I have some tall grasses behind them, and you can see I got one planter done. Ugh, shame, that's gotta go. What else? This is that time where there's so much going on and I'm so distracted, it's hard to keep a train of thought. What else we got? Oh, this clematis is just exploding. This is my serious black clematis, and it's just about to bloom, but look how much that's filled out. This is about 6 years old probably, and I moved it once or twice, but it has actually self-seeded around, which is really cool. And it's got this great, you know, dark leaves when they first unfurl, and then these will be little tiny white flowers, and it kind of just stays this height, which is really nice. It doesn't really need a trellis or anything. I just sort of use this DIY obelisk to keep it contained. The catmint is poppin'. Hello. Look at this cranesbill. This is another, I think this is sort of a native one that was from a division from my mom, and it's just taken off. I really like how it's carpeting underneath this white lilac that has gone over. Let's go in front of the little fence. Oh, we won't go back here. This is sort of a disaster area. Not that I'm afraid to show you my messes, but it needs to be dealt with. I think I want to divide some of this catmint, but it does look nice kind of spilling over there. So catmint in front here. This is a little cranesbill division, or perennial geranium. More penstemon. This is blue star Amsonia, which is a type of milkweed. This is a new hardy geranium that I got. I like those blue purple flowers. Nine bark. I'm trying to get better about repeating plants, using those like visual tricks. So I've got catmint here as sort of a little hedge, and then I have repeated hardy geranium, catmint, the Amsonia, some sedum, and then I'll move the penstemon around too so that that's repeated. Yeah, there's a lot in bloom right now. Looks really beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Oh, what do you guys think I should put in this pot? I brought this big pot out here, and I want to put something there because it's kind of hard to plant something there because of all the roots from the big silver maple. So I can't really put a shrub there. There's a wee little apple tree. But I would like something fun in that. Look at these. Oh, the sun's on them now. Oh my goodness. Get over yourself. Come on. Okay, on to the backyard. The pathway area looking still disheveled, but as the hostas fill out, it looks less messy and more on purpose, which it totally is. The hostas are very happy with all this rain. Grapevine is taking off. Got some little grapes. Okay. Have a black raspberry here that maybe I'll actually get some fruit from this year. The black lace elderberry is still looking fabulous. It seems very happy here, which makes me happy. And over here, this viburnum has gone over, but it also looks happy. Brought some of my houseplants out for summer vacation. This is that clematis from out front, the Sirius Black, and this self-seeded here. I noticed it last year, and this year it's gotten huge, so that's cool. The yarrow is taken off, and some of my, oh, where's that one? So some of the new dahlia tubers I got this year are coming up. I need to check on that one. But some of them are getting munched on. There's been some weird insect activity as far as munching on plants, and I don't know if it's all the same insect, but some things are getting chomped and some things are not. There's one of my planters underneath the smoke bush, which is one of my favorites. And over here we have some crocosmia coming up, which is exciting. I kind of like that it's coming up in different, like not all at the same time. Some bee balm that I probably need to cut back and rip some of it out. This is my new bed. If you saw my garden redesign, this is part, I don't know, what do you say? It's been reconfigured. And I have a banana in here because I love the dark foliage, but I ringed it with some perennials, so hopefully all of the pollinators will get what they need. There's coneflower and yarrow, sedum, catmint, coreopsis, salvia. There's a little lavender over there, more bee balm, more sedum, and then there's not a native, but there's calendula. We'll go around that way. Don't get ahead of yourself, Eileen. Let me show you one of the weird chompies. So, over here, here's a dahlia that I planted this year, new. Oh, Japanese bishop. Maybe I'll finally get one. But you can see it's got a little bit of chomping, and that does look like insect activity. But then over here, this is honey bun, another new dahlia. There's the shoot, and the leaves keep trying to come up, and it's also chomped, but that looks more like maybe a critter ate the leaves. So I'm gonna try and put chicken wire around it. But then I had, yeah, look, I had planted some basil seedlings because I thought, well, maybe if I put some like odoriferous herbs around it, that will discourage pests. And the basil got totally chomped. Oh, caught red-handed. I've never had a slug problem before. Look it. Ooh, okay. All right, buddy. You gotta go. This is going to the chickens. Oop, smushed them already. Oh, rats. What kind of bug are you? Yuck. Okay. Well, now we know. Caught live here on camera, reporting from the scene of the crime. Let's see. Move some chives over here. Again, hoping something smelly will deter pests. Yeah, look at this. This is a yarrow, or achillea, and it's gotten totally munched away, so maybe that was the sluggies. Okay, slugs gotta eat too. This is a type of coneflower, sedum. My alliums did great this year. I'm letting a lot of them go to seed, so maybe they'll spread a little bit. And let's see, serviceberry is starting to form some berries. Look at, Oh, doesn't that look pretty? Yep, here's some berries. Birds will be happy. And the wisteria is blooming. Ignore all my garbage. Focus on the wisteria. It does smell nice. There's another one. This one's blooming. And you can see I reinstalled my lattice. So I'm hoping it will climb up the front of this. There it goes. And I need to put a little bit more up there. We'll talk about that later. The iris back here are going over. They are some of the first to bloom. Still looking great. Another planter. And here is the hosta area right now. And there's the lilac that I moved. They look so happy. Oh, chickens are mad. I haven't fed them yet. As you can see, the hostas are thriving with all the rain, and I did move a couple around, so I got some new ones, of course. When Mom visited, she brought some. This guy needs to be divided because there's a hellebore under there, and he won't get enough light. So I'll divide that. This is Empress Wu, and she was back there, and I didn't get to see her enough, so I moved her. Pretty much the same soil, so hopefully she doesn't go into shock or anything. This is my shade planter. Very happy with how it's looking. This is an elephant ear that I actually overwintered in my basement and kept it sitting on top of the goldfish's winter abode, and so it was drinking goldfish water, and it's very happy to be back outside. These are new. I bought some Astilbe, which I've never had before, but I think they look nice. The Sweet William has gone over. I'm trying to let some of those seed heads dry out, but I will be cutting it back soon. And here's the lilac. I really love how it looks back here. I need to prune it, but it seems to be doing well considering the move. We did have to actually lop off some roots, but she's surviving. Good morning, ladies. I'll feed you in a minute. These are the iris that I just transplanted this spring. Very happy that we got some blooms. The dogwood that I moved, this was a little tiny spruce I had in a container for a couple of years, and I wanted to give it some freedom. Let's see, oh, that's temporary. This is everything's a work in progress. The sun, it's gonna be sunny today. Oh, shadow, here's more spiderwort. Love. And oh, this is one of the new, oh gosh, my shadow. Darn it, Eileen. This is one of the new clematis I got, Princess Diana, and it's crawling up through the apple tree, and it looks so happy. And I actually have some apples. We'll see if they make it to my mouth. But they're here. Oh, and this is my Ito peony. He's blooming. This is Bartzella, I think it's called. I keep wanting to call it Bridezilla, but I know that's not right. The catmint, as you can see. Is that a catbird? Do you see that? Oh, maybe it's a baby robin. Who are you? Anyway. Where was I? Yeah, catmint's looking great. I was actually waiting for this tour, and then I will prune a lot of it back so that we get more blooms and it looks a little bit tidier. Let's see. Oh, these are some annual peonies that I threw the seeds out in this very early spring, late winter. I'm really happy they took. So I was kind of waiting for these to get bigger, and then I'll sort of divide this clump up. The coral bells are looking nice. This is the red bud that I just planted last year. Very, very happy with how full she's looking. Looking gorge. The other thing I'm super jazzed about is this lupin. Look at that. Lupin always seemed like, I don't know why, it just seemed like something that wouldn't grow well here. And these are all plants that I started from seed a couple years ago. And so last year I only got like maybe one flower spike. And this year I have several, which is super exciting. And then there's this plant that has no flower spike. So I'm hoping that means it'll flower next year. And then I'm going to, once these develop seed heads, I'll scatter those around. Look at all the blooms on this rose. That's gonna start soon. This is a Floribunda rose that I got just at the local nursery, and I think it's called Out of the Blue. But it gets these like super magenta blooms that fade into a really pretty pink. And oh, look at that one. And this one. This is my Generous Gardener climbing rose. Oh, it's got so many blooms. Look at that. That I moved back here last year from out front. It's much happier. And let's get a better view of that. Last year it got maybe a couple blooms, and now it's covered, which is great. And she's starting to climb. And then this clematis over here, I sort of kept moving sideways through the rows, and now it's going up the trellis, which is very exciting. So that should have some blooms soon. And then this is, I don't know what this one's called, but I got it for like $8 at Home Depot, probably during the pandemic. And it's very prolific. Look at this big boy. I think Sum and Substance is more of a glaucous blue color, so I think that might be guacamole. And oh, here's a fun addition. This is a new lilac. Very excited for this to bloom next year because it's virtual violet, but it's supposed to have these really dark purple flowers, which I've been looking for a lilac with very dark purple, because mine are light purple. And it's supposed to be pretty narrow growing, so I thought it'd be good for this spot. And then, because it's near the back door, I have some nice scent out here. This is kind of stealing the show right now. This is it's called a hardy climber. And it's named Above and Beyond. But you can see there's just this lovely cascade of blooms, and I've been deadheading it, and it just looks so good with the catmint around it. Just take a moment to appreciate that. Oh, speaking of things that got munched on by slugs, so I did have some aphids on that rose, and I was gonna spray them with soapy water, and then I saw ladybugs, so letting the ladybugs do their job. But this is a native plant I got. It's purple prairie clover, and I bought this one and that one, and the leaves are totally stripped. So I don't know if this is the slugs or some other critter, but mean, I guess the good thing about natives is, you know, since I just planted it, it's really gonna just be working on developing roots. So hopefully it'll still be able to photosynthesize a little bit. But that's a bummer. But then here, there's baby basils next to it, not eaten. Got some blueberries developing. And then all the dahlias are taking off. I think I planted them in the ground a little bit earlier than you typically would, but they seem to be doing just fine. Check out how big these are over here already. And it's only the end of May. Still have a couple to plant. That's maybe a cafe au lait. So those are looking fantastic. And I'm still waiting. Need to cover my pond yet. You know, there's always projects going on. And I think everything is looking very nice. I'm very happy with it. And we're just getting started. We've still got all of summer. And that just seems so wonderful. Thank you for joining me on another highly disorganized, very excitable tour of my southeastern Minnesota garden. I'm sure there's going to be a ton more changing here in the next couple weeks, probably in your garden as well, which is very exciting. I hope that you're enjoying the spring into summer transition. I would be really curious to know, what sort of pests are you dealing with in your garden? Do you know how to deal with them? I have not dealt with slugs before. This is a new problem for me, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research and see what the best solution is. And maybe the solution is just leave them alone and encourage really strong plants that can recover. As you can see, my garage to usable hangout space conversion is continuing, and hopefully when I'm done and it looks nice, I'll have a nice video for you explaining my process. But this is a sort of deconstruction conversion project, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And as usual, I just go for it with little to no research or forethought. I will keep you updated on the garden progress. I'm sure there will be many more tours this summer. In the meantime, happy gardening.